Hi, hello. Today I'm going to show you this beautiful macrame wall hanging. This is a door and this is the front part of a building. And I remember that I had this piece. I've made it a long time ago. Actually some 3-5 years, so almost half a life. Well, not half, but it's a long years, right? 3-5 is very long time. Now you notice how the color, this was snow white, now it's very yellowish. Time passes on and we don't realize it. Now in here I remember this because this has an effect. You remember the last video where I put some interesting effects with square knots? Well, here they are. If you notice here, you have a losangle, and in here another losangle, and in here another one. Now these effects, they need a certain light to be visible. There is always a certain position that we will see them very clear. Now this is as I explained in the last video. All the heads of the square knots are to that side, and in here in the middle I put the heads, these little heads, all to that side, and that gave this impressive effect. It's very subtle, but it is very visible in certain circumstances, and that is very appealing because at the first glance we don't see nothing, and suddenly if we move to one side or to the other, the shadows will make it very clear, and suddenly we look and oh, there's something there. These ones, they have even a more subtle effect. They are all to those sides, but then I have 3 knots here to this side, and this is also the same. 3 knots to the same side as the fabric around, and the others to the other side. The idea was to give the idea of an open window, half open window. So I think it's more or less visible, although this is not easy to see. Actually, it's not easy to see, especially in the camera. So it's as I tell you, there is always a certain position where they are very visible, and there are other positions where we don't see it at all. I think that now it is a little visible. This one is very impressive because it is all plain, and these actually, because they have a small detail, they are also very impressive. I think they are visible. I think they are perfectly clearly visible. Now I could try to give it some light. There is a form of giving lateral light that probably will make these visible. Let's find it out. Let's find it out. Well, yes, now it's visible, this one. Now it's very visible, the central one, and now I think it's visible also the other one. I don't know if like this. No, like this, no. Like this they are not visible. Let me find it out from here, from this side. Well, yes, perhaps yes. I don't know. And the one in the middle. No, this one in the middle, I think that the light from the other side is more visible, right? Well, anyway, these subtle effects they have their mystical purpose in the work. Is, as I said, one does not see it immediately, and then when one spot it, it is a surprise. It is a real surprise, and a good surprise for the work. It's very interesting. Now, apart from that, of course, the work is remarkable. This is old fishing line, very stiff, very hard to work. This is macrame plain under over, and here is diamond knots, so over one under one. These are also rose knots, diamond knots to make the door open. This is rope twisted by hand with the same rope that is here, but twisted in three, and I make a bigger one. So in here also sailor's knot, button knots, star knots, diamonds, senit knots. I don't remember the name of this. Perhaps some form of man rope knot or something like that. That is a rose knot. This one a rose knot, a diamond, a senit, and a man rope perhaps. Here some kind of strange rose knot. Also here, and here. And the small ones are the same. Beautiful, isn't it? The back side, these are the ropes from the other parts that I have made. This is not complete yet. The idea behind this was to make a really mystical macrame. And the mystical macrame, why? I left this open. And the idea is to make a huge oval, perhaps in modern line, gold macrame line, red or gold, something light with very light, and that make an oval shape like an egg for the meaning of life. And this opening, actually, when it comes from the back, but outside, a real egg outside, this opening, it still opens. So this will stay always open. Why? Because this is the real mystical part of this work. What does it mean? It means an emptiness, and the emptiness is like a well. No, well, those things that we do on the ground, and then water comes inside. So it's the same thing. If we dig from the earth, the water that is around will go for the emptiness. And here is the same thing. Is a metaphor for the spirit. If we make an emptiness, an inner silence in the mind, the mystery that is around us all over the universe will collect and come inside. Now, for those who believe in those kind of things, that was the idea behind this. So what is this emptiness? A door to what? To the infinite, to the mystery. So contemplation, meditation, and shamanic journey, they are all the same. They all use inner silence. Of course, taking apart the dogma parts, but dogma parts, I don't find it important in this context. In this context, I think there is no importance for that part. The part that is important is the practical part, inner silence. An awareness in silence. So this piece actually was a metaphor for that. If you see, it doesn't have symbols, so I could easily put a symbol in top of this, or in here, any place I could put some symbols, but they have no symbols precisely because of that, because inner silence has no symbols, belongs to all. Belongs to all. It does not belong to any one in particularly. It is common to all. Actually, it is common to all. Silent prayer is common in all traditions of human worlds, human minds of all times, in all ages. Even the animals, they do this. If you take a look at pigeons in the streets, you will find that they will do all the time an inner silence, time, very long time, and then they go away to their lives. It's very interesting. And that's all. So this piece is a remarkable piece, and I hope you enjoy this. This was almost... I almost forgot these things, you know. I have these things at home, and now because of this confinement thing, I am discovering them day by day. And actually, I'm very pleased that YouTubers can see this. It is very important, right? To see this is important, and to show this is important. So I hope that everybody is happy, and see you next video.